been a member of the Ferndale Elks for quite some time. And so we thought we'd have them on today to talk a little bit more about the Elks and all of the good things that we do. So we have with us today Josh Gartner. He is the chair of the Elks PR for Detroit. Randy Stewart. He is esteemed loyal knight Ferndale Elks 1588, and Oscar Renault, chair of the Ferndale Elks. And with that, who wants to start? Let's start with giving us a little bit of background about the Elks and what you do. I think a lot of people don't understand all the great charity work that you guys do.
Absolutely. Well, we're a national organization that is broken down into local lodges, right? So once you become a member of your local lodge, you are actually an Elks member. You're allowed to go to any Elks club in the country. We have thousands of locations across all 50 states. But what we do is we focus on charities, both national and local. And we deal mostly with either youth groups, helping local youth, or veterans groups, running organizations for veterans.
So one of the great things also about the Ferndale Elks is your location, of course. You're right on Woodward Avenue, which puts you in a great spot to be able to view some of the big events going on, such as the Woodward Dream Cruise. But you guys also help start the cruise, right?
Absolutely. Yep. If you go back to history, 20 plus years, some of our members actually were instrumental to start the cruise. That's correct.
So tell us more about the location other than you have great parking.
Yep. Well, we are located on Woodward, right downtown Ferndale, just north of 9 Mile, and on the east of Woodward. And as you mentioned, it's a great location. We're right in the middle of downtown. We're very central to Detroit area in general. We can be our lodge pretty much anywhere within 20, 25 minutes.
And so with that too, can you guys talk a little bit more about some of the events and the charities that you've been taking part in? Because you've also had to close your doors quite often throughout the pandemic over the past year.
Well, absolutely. Well, our lodge historically started in 1931 on March 28th. So we are going to celebrate our 90th anniversary this coming Sunday. Over the years, our lodge contributed over $5 million towards charity for our immediate area. We also sponsoring scholarships. We do our Christmas baskets. So we come together, and right before Christmas time, we put together around 100 food baskets for the local families in need. We visit our veterans, Hamilton House in Detroit, also locally. We take kids out to Tigers games and things like that. But as you mentioned, last year was a little bit challenging, the COVID restrictions. So one of our members had a great idea to suit up in inflatable suits, and we were just walking through the neighborhood and cheering people on. So we were probably close to 20, 25 members in that club. So that was a very good and positive feedback from the community, because they were looking forward to see us.
So I know that you guys made the news with that as well. It was so hilarious, Tyler, to see them walking around, like we've seen the video of the big T-Rex, like shoveling snow. Well, they had them like all the different animals. And I think the one time I saw you guys, you were raising money for, I don't know, maybe Alzheimer's or another one of the charities, and everyone had their suits on. And they're very colorful, and you definitely stand out in a crowd, but they could be hard to walk in.
Yeah,
And very hot.
and very warm, yeah.
So, Randy, can you tell us a little bit too, how's membership going right now?
Well, right now we're doing very well in regards to membership. One of the few Elks that actually have increased their membership over this pandemic time. So we're really excited about that. We have a wonderful group of people. We're very inclusive here at the Ferndale Elks, and it's just a great time.
You never know who you're going to meet when you go to the Ferndale Elks. You could be talking to a judge, you could be talking to an electrician, a person from the postal department, an airline worker. You have one of the most diverse groups I have ever seen. But you guys also have a really cool story. Randy, you want to tell us about your location, because you were a bank at one point in time.
Oh yeah, a long time ago, we were a bank, and we still have the vault that the original bank had, and now it's become a giant cooler for all our necessities here at the Elks Club. And we've had to remodel a little bit on the inside. We've changed the floors and things like that to try to get back to some of that beauty that the bank had when it originally was here. There's tons of pictures out there you can see how what it used to look like when it was a bank, prior to our changing it. And we're just very proud of what it looks like here.
So, Josh, how is it going with the capacity limits and the time constraints right now as well?
Well, we're following all of the state mandates, which is, I believe, 50% capacity. We do have an outdoor tents that we've set up in the spring. So we're trying to accommodate as many people as we can, but we're still staying within those limits that Governor Whitmer has put out.
So what are some of the upcoming events that you guys have going on? I know that typically the springtime you're really busy. Have you had to curb back some of your volunteer opportunities?
We are looking forward to this year. As you mentioned, the COVID restrictions are still strong and there, and for a reason. However, anything outdoors would be great. We do Easter egg hunts with the community. We typically participate in the Memorial Parade, which is one of the oldest one in the state, that goes right through Ferndale, and so many others. If there is going to be a Dream Cruise, we definitely will participate in that. We have a Ferndale Pride for LGBTQ community, and we also take part in that as well. That's going to be this coming October. And typically we have one public visitation per month. With COVID, it's currently suspended, but anyone can come in and see our lodge. Once a month we have a public event, and they can see the lodge and the room and the grounds and talk to other members. But we welcome anyone to visit our website and call us. Our website is www.elks1588.com, and you can learn how to become a member. You can schedule a visitation. You can come and check us out. You can see, the bar room, the banquet room upstairs, and we will tell you all about us in more detail, and we'll be more than happy to see you.
So right now it looks like Michigan is back in the middle of another surge. How much does that concern all of you, and because if we have to go back to shutdown, that could impact all of the plans and all of the progress that you're making?
Absolutely, but safety of our members is the first priority. It always was and will always remain. So we focus on recovery as a nation together, and obviously focuses on health and safety.
So
wait, and we can celebrate once again once it's safe.
So many places have had to get creative throughout the pandemic by doing virtual events. Did you guys do any of that? How did it work for you?
Yes, actually, our member Kate Reynolds had a great idea to do virtual happy hour. So we are known for getting together after work at 5-6 o'clock and having some cocktails. So she established a Zoom room for all the members, and everyone attended and shared some news. How are they doing during the COVID? And maybe some cocktails were involved there too, but that was a lot of fun.
We're talking with Josh Gardner, Randy Stewart, and Oscar Renault. They're with the Ferndale Elks 1588. You guys have other locations as well. So I know that for us, we're located here in West Bloomfield. We do have one, I think it's closer, Pontiac Waterford. How can people become a member of the Elks? And if I'm a member at the Pontiac one, can I come visit you in Ferndale?
Absolutely. Like I said, once you join a lodge, you're welcome at any lodge in the country. So if you're a member of Pontiac Waterford, you can easily come down and do something with us here in Ferndale if we're doing a euchre night or a bar bango or anything like that. But really, we have lodges. If you just look at our district, we have lodges in Royal Oak, Farmington Hills, Ferndale, obviously, Clawson, Troy. You mentioned Pontiac Waterford. That's just our district. That doesn't include the lodges in Livonia or Allen Park or Dearborn or Warren Sterling Heights or Mount Clemens. I mean, if you live in Metro Detroit, you live next to an elk lodge.
What has been the biggest misconception the public has about the Elks clubs?
Well, this is a great question. The misconception was that this is the good old boys club, right? And uh, you know, and different sexes are not allowed. So it's actually not true. If you're a woman, you're more than welcome to join. We have people of color, alternative, LGBTQ people are welcome. So we are all inclusive. So we are trying to represent our community to the full extent. And as you mentioned, we are very diverse. You can meet all walks of lives in our club.
So, Randy, if I can ask you, what's the biggest thing you get out of being a member there?
Oh, I think obviously the camaraderie with just different people is probably one of the biggest things that I get out. I've met so many wonderful people. The people that now I travel with, people I network with. I need to know where to get my car fixed. Everyone's got an opinion. It's just great. Myself, I am the state scholarship chair, and that's something, especially being a teacher, that it was important for me to get involved with. And our scholarship, we have something on the national level, on the local level as well. And for me, just giving back to high school seniors and trying to advance their college careers and things like that has been very, very important for me. And I've just gotten a great just heart swell being a part of that. Meeting these guys. One thing I want to add to about what Oscar was saying, right now we're kind of going to transition from old officers to new officers, and we have a female officer who will be running the show, and we're so proud of her. She's been involved in so many different activities here, and now that she's going to be running the show, it's like, yeah, this is not the old boys club, like he said. This is like we want the change, and we want to, go forward with the way the Elks is perceived. So thank you for asking that question.
So it really is a community and a family. You guys are so creative in some of the fundraising efforts that you have done. I know that sometimes you guys do the drag queen bingo. That is always a very popular one. How do you come up with some of these new fundraising efforts? And how does that look in the next 6 months with COVID still with us?
Well, on an annual basis, we contribute. We approximately raise about $70,000, and we donate these funds to the community. Our house committee is very, very creative when it comes to the fundraising ideas. But any member really can come up with a wonderful idea. If we're not collecting money for something right now, we can always create something new. So if someone is very passionate about Alzheimer's, fundraising or cancer, or drug awareness, we're always open to new ideas.
Yeah, and just to add, it's the members of the Elks that come up with these ideas. If you think of the TRex walking club, that was just a random member that came up with that idea, and we were able to raise a lot of money during the coronavirus quarantine. So it's just the creativity of the members that really bring this together.
And we're not really interested in letting the pandemic keep us down. I think whether we're meeting here or we're meeting on Zoom, we plan on still having all these ideas and eventually putting them into place. We can't put them in right away. I just know this summer, we have 2 members that said, we want to do a Christmas in July fundraiser to help with the scholarship for our local Jerry Oley scholarship. I said, and they just came up with that. It's just something that they just want to do. So we are really reliant on our members here.
How do you come up with who you're going to support, or organizations and individuals?
I'll take that one. I think it's not necessarily a specific group. It's just based on the members, and they bring it to our meetings, and they just say, hey, this is what I'm interested in, and we just go, sounds good. There's no particular particular organization or side of an argument or anything like that we always go toward. It's just what feels right. I think that's basically where we fall.
I'll add to that a little bit too. So let's say, for example, our veterans committee. Someone had a wonderful idea to start supporting Hamilton Club in Detroit, nursing home in Detroit, and they established the committee, and there were members of that committee that were coming up with ideas. They do a lot of fundraising around Christmas time, so we can deliver gifts to them. As mentioned, we can take them to baseball games when it's available again. But anyone is welcome to join and bring your own causes forward, and we will support you.
You guys have really supported a lot of great causes, and every time you walk into the Elks, they are doing some type of fundraising event to support someone. What's been the most meaning for you of the ones you participated over, let's say, the last couple years? Randy, you want to take that one?
You said the one that's the most meaningful?
Yes, to you personally.
Personally? I think when I first got involved, probably, because most people think, oh, scholarship, but I've already talked about that. The Christmas boxes that Oscar talked about is probably the thing that really got me hooked, because I became initiated not too long before Thanksgiving and Christmas time. And they say, oh, you should just come in and help out. And I came, and it's just a group of people, and we're just basically putting food in boxes and then delivering them to local Ferndale residents. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm hooked about this. But I also have to say, we not only give to big groups of people, but we also help people just personally. There was a family who weren't Elks members, but they were friends of Elks. And you probably remember this, where a young man was on the freeway, and he was stopped to help someone, and he ended up getting hit. He lost his leg, and he ended up his track career. He was going to go to college, and his track career was over and things like that. But he still wanted to go. I think it was Vassar College or something like that. He still wanted to go there, and so the Elks well, we're going to make sure you go there. We're going to make sure that you get to. And so something like that. We raised all this money over a period of time, and presented him in his college with this money to help this young man get to that dream. And he wasn't an Elks member. His family wasn't an Elks member, but they knew an Elks member, and an Elks member brought it to us, and we said, absolutely. That's the kind of stuff that I love about the Elks. We've had a woman, a bartender, the friend of the Elks, and she's an Elks member, but she got cancer, very little health care. We're like, we need to make sure that she's taken care of. One of our own bartenders, he needed a hip surgery. We need to make sure, because we love him, we need to make sure that he's taken care of. So helping out in a big general way is great, but also helping those individual people. That, I think, is what really makes the Elks so meaningful for me.
Randy Stewart, Oscar Renault, and Josh Gardner with us here on the Mega Cast. They are members of the Ferndale Elks 1588. Anything maybe we didn't touch on that you guys want to say before we say goodbye for the day?
I would just add that obviously most lodges double as bars, restaurants, and so it's a great time to come in. You can meet new friends. Socializing here is great. On top of the bigger goal, which is helping our communities.
Yeah, you really are a family, aren't you?
Yeah. If you are a transplant, or if your family is far away, not during COVID, but most of the time when it's safe, we celebrate all the holidays together. We watch all the sport games together. So come and celebrate Thanksgiving with us. We will have a big spread, when it's safe again. Right before Christmas or Easter. So we do a lot of things as a family together.
Well, we appreciate all three of you being with us today.
Thank you very much
for having us.